Treehouse of Horror 34, Dawn of the Dead on the big screen, and Chuck Norris battles zombies, all on this Wednesday edition of Spill the Guts.
I like it spooky.
Hello and welcome. My name is Clint, and I am one half of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast, which brings you a minimum of 18 episodes of varying, yet all horror-related content each month, and is smack dab in the middle of another news week here on Spill the Guts, as today is Wednesday, October 18th, and this just in. First story of the day is from BloodyDisgusting.com, who brings us a synopsis for The Simpsons' Treehouse of Horror 34, and this Halloween, the episode includes a Silence of the Lambs spoof. An annual tradition, The Simpsons is getting set to unleash Treehouse of Horror 34, and we've been provided with an official synopsis for the Halloween special. In Treehouse of Horror 34, Bart is turned into an NFT, and Marge must fight through the blockchain to rescue him. Lisa turns to a murderer from her past, and an outbreak transforms Springfielders into a plague of lazy, beer-loving oafs. The second segment of this year's Halloween special, where Lisa turns to a murderer from her past, is said to be a spoof of the 1991 horror movie, The Silence of the Lambs. Oddly enough, Treehouse of Horror 34 isn't scheduled to premiere until November 5th, days after the end of the Halloween season. You can watch all the previous Treehouse of Horror episodes on Disney+.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times.
It gets up and kills. The people it kills get up and kill.
Dawn of the Dead.
Next up, Bloody Disgusting also reports that George Romero's 1978 classic Dawn of the Dead is returning to the big screen exclusively at Regal Theaters Halloween weekend in celebration of the film's 45th anniversary, and you can grab your tickets at regmovies.com.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
And it's that time once again to pause for station identification and hear from our podcast network, the PFPN.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal: providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Last story of the day, again from BloodyDisgusting.com, lets us know that The Hollywood Reporter reports that Chuck Norris will battle the undead, starring along with Vanilla Ice and Sophie Monk in the nostalgia-filled action comedy Zombie Plane. THR details that Zombie Plane centers on a secret government organization that recruits celebrities to be undercover agents who together must save humanity from a zombie attack. Chuck Norris, Vanilla Ice, and Sophie Monk play themselves. Actually, Norris plays Commander Chuck Norris, who mentored and trained Vanilla Ice into becoming a deadly secret agent. But the feature is reportedly full of celebrity cameos with a 90s pop soundtrack, including tracks by Ice himself. The zombie film for Radioactive and Entertainment Squad was already shot earlier this year in Australia. Entertainment Squad's Shaked Barrison from Turbo Kid and Tales of Halloween teases Zombie Plane uses comedy, the zombie genre, and 90s nostalgia as a vehicle to comment on pop culture as much as it feeds it, creating unforgettable one-liners and situational comedy to the extreme. Studio Dome will launch international sales at the American film market in November. If this has you suddenly craving Chuck Norris horror, make sure to listen in on the past feature episode of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast where we covered the 1982 Norris classic, Silent Rage. And that is a wrap on your Wednesday news. As always, don't forget to connect with the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast on all mainstream social media platforms. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, but also feel free to reach out and email us at ilikeitspookypod@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. Join me back here this coming Friday for more news on another edition of Spill the Guts.
Hey, what's wrong with you, man? Show some fucking respect for the dead, will ya?